So here we are, we're at the end of the street, right down at the end of the street. And as you can see down here, it's pretty wild, right? This creek is pretty well preserved for a downtown. Now, what's that? You see how the bottom of the thing is disturbed? If you really look closer. My hand's shaky, of course. Anyway, we're going to keep on going down this creek because I found a green break. I found some footprints walking the other way, so I wanted to come back and document it before it got dark. The other thing I wanted to show you was this. They could be right underneath. See, look at this. It's like a big trees, and on the other side over here is like somebody's the backyard of their garden goes up to this, and then a rich person's house is that way a long ways. And it's just wild back here, right? And then you see this stuff right here? It's like a canopy. You could get underneath that and you would have a totally open space, totally covered on the outside. There could be tunnels all up under there. That's on the other side of the creek from here. So we're gonna keep on investigating, see what we can come up with. This is there's the redwood trees right there, so it gets thick quick. And every one of these streets where there's a bend, there's a park. It's pretty dang thick. You can see it's a retaining wall now. That's where I was over there. Right? So, along the creek, there's all these tunnely kind of thicket places along here, and it's all kind of bushwhack, and it drops off steep all the way down. There could be underneath on the side, because there's plenty of root systems and stuff to hide up under if there's that canopy over the top. Now, if I had some time, I'd go and look. Maybe somebody should. So this isn't very far. So far we haven't gotten very far, but you can see that's across the creek there. I'm sure the biologists from Stanford have put these, there's like numbered birdhouses along this creek. So you know the biologists are walking by here, but I don't think that they're thinking about squatch when they do it. I think they're kind of clueless, and I can tell by the stride in the water that it's not a human stride, because we take shorter strides and our disturbance on the bottom is quite a bit smaller than when a hominoid walks in the creek. Now, this was a good angle. I remember looking down over here and I could see some footprints, so let's see if we can find them again. All right. Yeah. Okay, so you can see the drop off here, and you can see where it goes down over there. That was a green heron that just flew off, and you can see there's tracks that have muddied the bottom, like there. That's quite a large little space there. Anyway, so it goes up down the middle here. You can't really see it from this angle, but it goes along the middle of the creek, up the middle of the creek. This is what they typically do. They walk in the creek to cover their tracks. Unless you get a big high view like this, you can't usually see them at the 45-degree angle from the side. Sometimes you get lucky and you get them to step along the shore and you get lucky, but that's very rare. So we're going to continue our investigation. And you can see, here's the neighborhood, right? There it is. There's the sign, Palo Alto. Palo Alto. There you go. How's that for some proof, huh? All right, let's go. So we've just paralleled that area where We were just looking, and then there's a bend in the river. It goes this way. Oh, look, there's a bridge. I didn't see that before. Let's go out on the bridge and see if we can find where they walked underneath it. And it looks pretty good down. Yeah, this might be ideal because it's kind of smushy. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? Uh-oh. We got rocks on this side. And... oh, no skate. Right. But this side, what do we got? Oh, there's a couple of long steps right there. See those? Now, let me show you. I wonder if we can focus it. Okay, there's one. And then quite a long ways. Where did it go? There's one. And then the next one is there. That's how they do it. And then walk on the hard part, leave no tracks, and then when he gets over there, he's going to pick it up again and walk in the creek. I know this because I've heard them splashing, you know, running down the creek, or else just walking fast like they do. So I thought I totally freak people out when I'm doing this. Anyway, talking to myself with the family recorder. But yeah, so down here is where I saw the fresh green tree break. And one of these olive trees down here is definitely up way too high for a... it's right in here somewhere. Right. Where'd it go? Also found one that was a green tree break that was like snapped off, like it, I don't think it meant to, but it snapped it off. It was like a 2-inch round piece of, 3-inch round piece of eucalyptus. Okay, so now we're getting into the zone again. You can see tiny squatcha festival here. Let's go look down and see what we can see again. Oh yeah, look, this could be good. What do we have? It's soft. I don't see nothing though. Where did I see that break? Did I walk this way before? I probably did. Ooh, there's a way down right there. So, look, you got these kind of little pads and stuff around here. They could just be sitting here, hanging out. You know, look. See how this is all smashed down right here, going over to the side, hiding in the thistles? I know, homeless people don't hide in the thistles, okay? They don't do that. And there's another trail down right there. So, oh, there we go. Score. Score. What do we have here? This is the place right down here. Somewhere down here, there's going to be a mistake made. And they're going to reveal themselves. There's got to be. They can't be perfect. They can't be perfect. If you know where to look for them, you know how they're moving, not really that difficult to find. And you can see this is all right next to the neighborhood, right? Perfect screen for them at nighttime. Look at that spot with all that. What the heck? With a turd in the middle of it. I know people want to say it was probably a dog. Now look, see, this is again where there's, hold on, where there's ivy. All right, let me steady the camera. So, back up. Oops. Back up. So here we go. Here's the ivy. And there's the creek. You see this, how it's all, they could be right up underneath there. Right underneath there, in that big ball of stuff, there could be a nest in there, or like a bed kind of thing. And they could be right up in there. Nobody's going to walk there because it's behind this person's house. It's private property. It's up a steep embankment. And they could be right in there, hiding out. So, you know, I don't want to disturb them if I think they're in there. You know, I'll try to just be around and see if there's any movement, or, you know, takes a lot of waiting, but I think that they actually don't hide out in here that often. Maybe in the middle of summer when it's really hot and they want to be cool, they might come down here this far and hang out under everyone's nose. See how it's like up under the roots systems? They can get in there. They could be underneath the sticker bush. They could be totally underneath all this right here. No problem. I found their tunnels this winter to prove it to myself that that's where they're at. When I couldn't find them anywhere, where the heck are they living? They have themselves under the poison oak, in the vines, underneath, right? Close to where you think, no way. And yeah, way. So, we're gonna find that tree break. I didn't give up on it. I know I saw it earlier. And I didn't have my camera with me because I went to the powwow. 152. Okay, it was right around here. Right around here somewhere. So reach up, snap down. There it is. There she be. Right there. I don't know if you can see that. But that is a green tree break. It's green. See the leaves on this olive tree? You can see the snap here. That's way too high for me to reach. And there's a broken one up there too. So one got snapped off. Where's the snapped off one at? See, look what it looks like. It's total cliff right here. Right? Oh, and look at that. Look at all that. See how the bottom of it's all disturbed right there? Going out that way. Then it goes into the soft part. This is where they can't hide their foot tracks. And they try, but they can't hide them. That right there, that's a green tree break that just happened. And we're gonna look on now down for some more tracks. I'm gonna turn this back on at the bridge.